Hello, hello, everyone. This is the Nashville Startup Grind Entrepreneur Experience, and I am your co-director, Erica Kessie. I consider myself a love force with mysterious wisdom, celebrating life. I am your leader's healer. I am here to help you have movement to your best beautiful vision of your life. You must escape your old life in order to get there. So meet me and have an escape strategy session, consultation, or we can go into coaching with each other. And so I would love to hand it off now to my beautiful co-director, Tiara.
Absolutely. I am Tiara Briscoe, and I'm born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I now live in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am in the accounting and finance industry. I am a CPA for the state of Tennessee, and I am a treasurer for the junior board for Nashville's Business Incubation Center. I am also the owner of T. Briscoe Consulting, where we provide bookkeeping and consulting services. So I look forward to chatting with everybody tonight. All right. So we are also going to get into the introductions of the panelists. So we're going to start off with Sasha Walton. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes, you are. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Sasha Walton. I'm a business strategist and CEO of SWI Management Group. I help entrepreneurs start and build sustainable businesses through a strategic process that is in business planning, marketing, branding, and it all drives results while managing mental wellness. I know it sounds like a lot, but it works. And so I love helping entrepreneurs do that and have that process because it's all about longevity and profitability.
Thank you, Sasha. Now let's go to Sade Curry. Am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, you are. Thank you. Hey, everybody. My name is Sade Curry. I am originally from Arkansas, about 40 minutes from Memphis. I am in transition to becoming a resident of Nashville, Tennessee. I am a tax strategist. I work 12 months of the year. I also do bookkeeping, small business consulting. I do have a smaller sector of my tax strategy, teach consulting, where I do consulting with discovery calls for business credit, business funding, business personal credit, just resources that will help the entrepreneur or consumer along the way to get the resources that they need to be productive. And I am in my second year of being a full-time entrepreneur.
Thank you, Sade. And I see your name is Nicole Roulette here. Is that what you like to go by?
Yeah, so I actually go by Nikki Joyner. I recently got married, so that's why the name is changed.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, folks. Hey, Nikki Joyner here, coming at you live from Dallas, Texas, where I live and work. I've been here for about 2 years now. I actually moved here because of my husband's job. I am a self-taught and community-made entrepreneur, and I've been in the entrepreneur space for about 3 years now. I founded and now co-lead our Parallel team as a part of the Parallel agency. We're a full-service consulting firm. We specialize in organizational culture and change management, specifically around issues related to equity and access. So about 3 years ago, I started this consulting agency, and since then, with the help of our team, we've been able to scale our business to 6 figures, and now we have 8 team members. So I'm pretty dang proud of our group and super excited to be here today to represent our team.
We love to see it.
Absolutely amazing. Wow, look at these rock stars. Y'all better go. I'm so excited to get into this. So let's get started with these questions now that we know who is here. The question is, what has been your experience as an entrepreneur? I know it's a loaded question, very, very loaded, and you have time and space to share. I want to know, our viewers want to know what it's like for you. You're going to be the inspiration for them. People who are on the edge trying to go back to get a job, they need to hear you. So let's start with you, Nikki.
Yeah, I love it. So I always like to preface that I'm a self-taught and community-made entrepreneur because that's how I started my business. You know, I was doing a lot of things as most entrepreneurs do. We were doing what we do now for free at one point and then realized we could get paid for it. And then we started our business and that's how we make money now. And that was my experience. And I had lost my job in February of 2020, which was probably the worst time, I think, or one of the worst times to lose your job in this country was February 2020. And then someone had said, hey, Nikki, like we'll pay you as a 1099 contractor. One, I had no idea what that was. Two, they asked me for an EIN number. So what did I do? Google, what is an EIN number and how do you get one? I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. I was as naive as it gets. And I Googled virtually everything that we did in our business. Our logos were startup Canva logos that I found that were templates on there. Like I had a very, a very interesting entrepreneurial journey because it kind of fell into me based upon the environment that I was in. I started my business because I needed money. I needed money so that I could pay for my mortgage. I could pay to help to support my family. And at that point, that was my option. So I kind of feel like a lot of ways I got thrown into entrepreneurship. And there was a lot of people that helped to pour into me to help our business be successful. And we definitely wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for them. There were a couple really key people that helped us along the way. And while I founded the organization by myself, I now co-lead our agency. And I think for me, that was probably one of the biggest pivot points and turning points for me is realizing as an entrepreneur that like I have gap areas. And there are some things that I could do really well and other things that I couldn't do really well. And my business partner now has the complete opposite skill set that I have. So we work really well together. We help to balance one another out. And I think for me, entrepreneurship has been a really self-reflective journey just to figure out like, Nikki, you wanted to do this because you wanted to be a consultant. You wanted to be a strategist. You saw a gap area in the market. You helped to fill that gap area, but there were some things that you were not stellar at. And as a result, like we lost money in our business. We lost clients in our business because not everyone can be great at everything. And I think it was just a really reflective moment for me to be like, how do I lean on other people to support this? Because for me, the biggest thing was how do we scale this in a way that makes sense? And how do we scale this in a way that makes meaning for the people that we work with? So there was definitely a lot of learning moments, a lot of growth moments, but super thankful for the people that poured into me. I've never had a business coach. I've never had a business mentor. Still looking for one of those. So still not for somebody that's able to help. But I think overall, just big life lessons around the difference from where I started to where I am now. And also super thankful for the people that have poured into me and poured into the work that we do so that we can reach our fullest potential.
Wow. The points that you made were so amazing. You got a partner. You really did shout out all the people that poured into you. You can't be an entrepreneur. Like people say, I'm a solopreneur. You're not, because you got to have somebody is helping you, because we are not here to be alone on this journey and even in our whole lives. So thank you for pointing that out. You said life lessons. Yes, life lessons. This is a big old life lesson to be an entrepreneur. You have to, it's a lot of skills, different skills. And you said it's best to know where you and your skills land, right? And who you need to bring in to help you with along the way. I'm so happy you have a partner that you can lean with and work with. And it's amazing to have that kind of circumstance in it. And it really works, because I want to tell you, it's never been, I haven't gotten one yet that's going to do and move us to, offset. But I have found that you have to keep looking, keep asking, keep wanting, and it shows up for you. And so if anybody's out there wanting to be a business mentor to a quite successful entrepreneur, I
need a business mentor. It's like the number one thing that we need right now. We need a business advisor. We need a business mentor. We need someone that can help to pour into us. So I'll come up with some sort of Google ad and make it happen. So you know what you're getting yourself into, but we definitely need one.
Well, I do have a couple suggestions. Score, I don't know if you've heard of Score, but they provide free mentoring, and these are mostly people who are quite successful entrepreneurs or were executives that ran Fortune 500 companies. So that might be a place to go. For one, I highly suggest Score, but there's also all these kind of incubators out here who want to provide programming for people. And we will talk about that. For example, Tiara says she's in the Nashville Business Incubation Center. That's just one of the incubators that's in Nashville, but there's so many everywhere right now because entrepreneurship is like the go-to right now.
It's definitely on the rise. Like I just, and even Nikki, I just want to point out like how you said you were kind of pulled into entrepreneurship. Like a lot of times we all make that decision, oh, I want to quit my job. You know, I don't really want to work for anybody, but it's nice to really be driven into it and not, you know, feel like that's your only revenue or you want to move and switch over. So I just don't really want to take away from that point because that's what stuck out the most to me.
Awesome. So how about you go, Sade? Tell us about your entrepreneur experience.
Okay. So I've always kind of started out, you know, growing up, I always sold something, did something along the lines of being self-sufficient. I come from the beauty industry. I remember I graduated high school in 2004. May the 21st, May the 22nd, mama had me at hair school. So I went to hair school, you know, cosmetology or whatever. And I've just always had a passion to make my own money on my own terms. Well, life doesn't always happen like we want it to, right? I have 4 children. So I've, you know, I had to put aside my passion. I come from, you know, at that point, went into the factory, got off 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I have 4 children. Very hard to be an active parent and get the, you know, enjoy the pleasures of being, you know, a parent, watching the kids grow up and play sports and being at all the PTA meetings. I did not have that luxury because I worked 12 or 13 hours a day. So I began, you know, I just got tired. That's just what it was. I got tired. And I started my tax business. I am a part of a tax franchise, Royalty Tax Services LLC. Our headquarters is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anaya still is the CEO. She's also my mentor and a good friend. So I have Royalty Tax Services LLC. We call it Death Row South. That's what we call it because Arkansas and Tennessee, I have that on lock, you know. So it just, I remember one day I was at work. By trade, I am like a general manager, upper management. And I started my business and I had to let that job go. I was at work literally and something just happened. You know, I couldn't even get my work out. I gave my 2-week notice. And I said, all right, God, it's me and you. I'm going to let this job go and go for what I know. And I have not been back to a job in 2 years. So it's been quite a journey. It's helped me to connect with my inner self, my higher self. It's like a love story for me. You know, it's a love story because you have to learn how to become disciplined. None of this is something that you're born with. It's something that you're taught. So, you know, I did have the luxury of finding good mentors. You know, I wasn't ready years ago. And it's crazy because these people were right here at my dispense at one point in time and I wasn't ready. And then it's a saying, it says, when you're ready to be taught, the teacher will appear. So, you know, I've never really, I've always been introverted because I've had, you know, children, just being a mom, right? But it's a saying that say, if all 5 of your friends are wealthy, you'll be the 6th person. So I just went into coaching immediately and mentorship, changed my mindset because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm still building, I'm still learning, and I'm, you know, networking with like-minded people. And I want to reach as many people as I can, help as many people as I can. I've learned that there is a need for financial literacy in the community. A lot of us don't understand how to make money work for us. We're working for money and don't know how to make money work for us. So that's where I come in at. And, I do discovery calls, consultations. I'm grinding. I'm out here handing out business cards. If I have 10 conversations, 9 conversations are about business, taxes, bookkeeping, just trying to feel a person out and see what do you feel like on the inside? What direction do you want to go? And I hope that my story and my journey ignite a flame under entrepreneurs that are been in business way before me. If they're tired or, burn out, we all go through that. And I just hope that it ignites the people that are ahead of me, the trailblazers, and the people that are coming behind me.
Thank you so much. I just want to reiterate the part about having 4 kids. Woo!
Oh, yes. Yes. And they are all stair step. They teenagers now, though, but they stair step.
People don't talk about how that's a part of this thing. You have, when you got people, you got responsibilities. That's not just your business, and you have to make sure you learn how to balance or have some balance with all of it. And you said you want to ignite other people. So hearing that, like, nobody should have no excuse. You have no excuse. No, you don't have no excuse. And then you mentioned burnout. Oh, people don't talk about that thing with entrepreneurship. It's supposed to be your passion. You're supposed to want it, but you can get burnt out and fall out of love with it. Yeah, you definitely can. Thank you for bringing that up. Is there anything that stood out to you, Tiara?
It was the financial literacy. Like,
of course.
Yeah, I am so math and money over here. Like, that is just my thing. I kind of operate in that area. But I really did agree with you when you say a lot of people don't know about financial literacy, and when they get money, they can't keep it. So I think it's a great thing that you're helping people like change their mindset to grow as a community. And then you say you have like the Death Row South, right? Or something.
Yeah, that's what I call myself.
Yes, and I especially like in Arkansas, I think sometimes a lot of people have preconceived notions like about Arkansas and things like that. But despite like where you are, like, you can make a living, you can grow, you can make money work for you. So continue to teach that financial literacy, because I believe it's how needed.
Thank you.
Well, I really think I'm happy that you all have met each other today, because
I know
there could be some kind of collaboration here. And I'm hoping that we all see each other, know each other, and work on that. People who are listening as well, everybody, this is going on YouTube, you all, actually. Into the Startup Grind, and it really has great SEO. So I'm hoping that you are shown internationally and nationally. So Sasha, come on, tell me, what's your entrepreneur experience?
Oh, wow. I'm just listening to everybody's experience. I'm just like, okay, there's a part of my story there, there's a part of my story there. And just like how, everyone can always be in the same room and be synced together, but never know that you're synced until you start hearing each other's stories. So I may be the one who's been in business the longest up here. I've been in business for over 20 years and just always evolving. Because thank you. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. It is a journey. It is not a race. It's something that you definitely have to just stay up on, unless you're just going to, like Sade said, get burnt out and just say, forget it. Way back when, I'm not going to date myself, but way back when I started out, basically I started out in business because I was asked to do an event. So my focus of my genre, not my genre, but my journey for business has been in event production. And someone asked me to do an event. I was like, okay, let me go ahead and volunteer for it and do it. And I found out I could do something really good. I've always had this business mindset when I was younger, always like, selling candy in high school and selling pictures in elementary school for ice cream money, just like hustling, right? And so, so I started out with event production as well as managing independent music artists. So yes, I did both of them in my early years. As I evolved, just doing business, sometimes we could do business without a brand or a name or anything like that. And I'm just going to say, I started in 1998. So business then is a lot different from business now. So I know I'm telling my age too, right? So, but it's just like being able to evolve throughout the years and learn and grow. I'm a firm believer that you take your skill sets from your day-to-day jobs, your professional life. If you have degrees, you take that information and you just merge it all in and have it to work for you and what you're going to do for your business if you're going to go that route. And so eventually I birthed SWI Management Group, which is a subsidiary of Sasha Walton Enterprise. And a lot of people would say, what's enterprise? I didn't want to go with the whole incorporation. That's like, so everybody does that, right? But enterprise means to bring from within. And so not knowing that the path I will be on right now is helping people to bring their business from within into fruition, into the light of who we are. And so tracking along, doing that, doing events and everything, and helping businesses scale along the way. So I did work with business development for a lot of other businesses as well, but it was never really my focus. It was something I always did well, but event productions was the heart and the core of what I love. In 2018, I was laid off. And I, for 20 years, I was working for 20 years, had my business on the side for 20 years. And so I just said, you know what? I've been wanting to go into government contracting, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I did that for event services. Within this first 6 months of my layoff, I scaled 6 figures. And so full-time entrepreneurship, going in with it. And then the pandemic happened. So I have that story where, you're just going up the ladder and then you get slapped back down. And then you're shifted and you have to pivot. So the pandemic hit the event industry really, really hard. And so did with my business. So as quick as I scaled, I came back down that ladder and I'm just like, okay, what is going on? So I went through that experience, which led me to come out of my comfort zone. So there was a lot of things, a lot of times we could be so against the wall, or we have those moments as entrepreneurs that we are facing ourselves and like, okay, what is the next step to do? What is the next decision to make, and how we're going to go forward? So I really dealt with that. I dealt with the feelings, the emotions, everything there is, feeling like a failure, all those things. And just like, you know what, I'm going to throw in the towel. December 2021, I felt the urge that I had to get back out here in business again and do my thing. So I relaunched the business, but this time I relaunched it with me being the face of my brand. So I came out of that comfort zone because I was always like, you know what, I'm just going to do this thing behind the scenes. I'm good with it. I could work with that business. As long as you're doing good, I'm doing good. And I know I'm the force behind you, all those things. But, there's a time where we have to allow our brands or allow ourselves to lead the business. And so within 1 year of doing that, my visibility grew. So I have now created this beautiful ecosystem between my personal brand and my company, SWI Management Group. And with SWI Management Group, we're still doing strategic business development. We're still, helping entrepreneurs grow and their sustainable businesses. And we're still doing event production. But I still come out as the business strategist under the personal brand. I have a book called The Ugly Truth About Entrepreneurship, Keys to Managing Mental Wellness. I wrote that book because it's my compelling story. It's my pandemic recovery story. And I have like the keys and the lessons that I learned during that experience to share with so many people. I'm an international speaker. I've been to Paris. I've spoken Paris and everywhere else. I have a podcast now, and I just have to always think about all the different things that I have going on. But I understand the value of having a brand. So when you're, marketing your business, it's good to come out as the face because it helps to drive it a lot more. And so now I just have an ecosystem that brings in multiple streams of income within the same sector of what I do. A lot of people don't really look at it. They look at it like, okay, well, you're doing too many things. I don't believe in niching down. I know that narrative is niche down, niche down, niche down. I believe in niching accordingly. If you're doing the thing and it goes out, if you're doing one thing and it branches out in so many different ways, but it's still the same foundation, why limit yourself? I'm a type of person that I'm very skilled. I have degrees, I have all these things, and I've worked in different compartments. So even though I don't manage music artists, but I teach music artists how to embrace entrepreneurship so they can, make it through the music industry a lot easier. So I have a book for that. And then, so everything is all about entrepreneurship. And then I talk about, sports entrepreneurs, about NIL. So there's a lot of different things I talk about as a business strategist, because these are the rooms I can navigate in. And of course, still doing events and everything else. So my story is full of the ups and downs, is full of the highs and the lows, and pivot. And, I would never have ever imagined me being right here talking to everybody, whoever's going to listen, whoever's going to watch this, and really being vocal. But I feel like, it does take for you to show up in order to reach each person that is out there that need what you have to offer, whether it's a solution, whether it's, a product, a service, whatever it is that you're offering, there's somebody that's in need. So, and then also I can't be remiss about this. I still speak on mental health and entrepreneurship. I know Sade touched about it, about the burnout. What I went through with the pandemic, I chose to be this advocate for entrepreneurs and mental health, because it's all about our vulnerability. It's being transparent. It's talking about our bad days. A lot of times people don't talk about that. They don't talk about, all the ugly parts. That's why that book, The Ugly Truth About Entrepreneurship, they don't talk about those ugly parts that get you to where you are right now. And how many times you cried at night, how many times that, you just felt like everything just wasn't going right. And so I speak on that, and that's just like my passion story. So that story leads my brand, and my brand leads my business. And it's a beautiful place. And I'm loving every minute of it. I've been, featured in AP News. I got articles, quoted in Forbes, and all these things within a year of me stepping out and saying, you know what, I'm just going to show up. And so that's why I would just share to anybody out there, just show up and do what you do and do it great.
Spectacular. Whoa, wow. Okay.
And
I have so much to say. Okay. First of all, I love that you use the word ecosystem to talk about what you have created. You're building legacy. You're building, when it's like you understand and have, just understand that you need an ecosystem in order to thrive as an entrepreneur. A lot of entrepreneurs only know how to survive. I'm just trying to survive. I'm barely making it, but we need to thrive. And so you mentioned your book, The Ugly Truth of Entrepreneurship. Okay, we got to talk even more. Okay. I just have so much to say. But going back to the mental health component, y'all know, I don't know if y'all know, but I'm a licensed professional counselor. And it's funny that I would be doing this role, being the Nashville Startup Grind director. But I see how it merges because, like you mentioned, I am multifaceted and I should be able to do all the things because it all fits in my mind together. Like there's a core of who we are first. We're not machines to be operating businesses. We need to know and love and be with ourselves. So you said I had to face myself in order to show myself as my brand and who I am. I said, okay, then. I'm so happy I was on mute the whole time. Nobody would have heard you because I was over here, your whole amen corner. That was amazing. I was like, oh. So anyway, is there anything that you wanted to say, Tiara, that you wanted to mention on what Sasha said to us?
I think it's very inspirational that you've been in business like over 20 years. That's so awesome. And I think we all strive for that. And the point that stood out to me, you said it's a journey, not a race. Because I am fresh and new into my entrepreneurship. And a lot of times I feel like, okay, I got to get it done. Like it's got to get out there. And a lot of times I just feel like I'm rushing it a little bit, but I do also want to take time to enjoy my journey. And I think a lot of times as other entrepreneurs, they may feel rushed as well. But I think it's very affirming to hear someone else say that, okay, it's just going to be a journey, you know. And even from what we learned about what's the rabbit in the okay, let me not get too deep, but slow and steady wins the race. So
The rabbit and the turtle.
that one. So yes, I that part I commend, and I think that I took that away, and I'm actually going to use that for myself as well.
Right.
Amazing. Yeah. So actually I want to go into the last question, Tiara, and because I really want to get that one answered because of the time that we
Okay.
have. So if you could pose that to our panelists, it'd be wonderful.
Absolutely. So what we really want to know, did you not want to, I know Donald put one in there too. So
Okay, yes, let's do our last question because it really goes into going back to what Sasha was mentioning.
yeah. Okay. So as an entrepreneur, how has that really affected you mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically? Just dive a little bit deeper. I know y'all touched it, but we need to go a little deeper because we all need to know.
Well, I guess I'll start off since I was already unmuted. How it affected me, honestly, I went kind of into in my whole ordeal because that pandemic part was like the worst thing I've ever had to happen to me. To where, you know, you go from not knowing when your next check is coming in. And I've seen struggles before, but not like that. So I really went into like a functional depression, where I was really like just showing up and still caving on the inside. And, you know, it wasn't like when I got laid off, I was still on a high. I was like, okay, I'm doing this. But this time it was like, it really had me on the edge, to where I had to learn my own capacity. I had to learn, you know, not even doing like operating out of a full glass. I was empty. I couldn't show up for anybody. I couldn't do business. It was nothing, you know, so it's like that spiritual part of it. Like I really, you know, into my faith and belief in God and everything, but I was still like, okay, God, what's up? Like, where are you right now? It felt like prayers wasn't working, even though I was still praying. It was just like so many things that were just going through my head, going through everything. And I just always wanted to just zone out, not to a part of like just checking out, but I just had to zone out. So a lot of that for me was prioritizing my own self-care and my own mental wellness at the time, and just making sure, like, if it was going to the beach and sitting at the beach all day long because I needed to just clear my head, you know, that, or working out, whatever it was. So that's really the impact that it had on myself during that time frame.
Thank you. You know, I feel like a lot of us have implemented self-care days, because we've realized that you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of other people. Thank you, Sasha. Sade?
Okay, you said you want to dive a little deeper. So there's a part of the entrepreneurship that people may not hear much about, like you said, with the mental health and the time management. So, you know, if you're an entrepreneur and this is just all you do full time, you have to learn how to live off of a calendar. And it took the first year, I did not. I'm talking about I was out here in these entrepreneur streets grinding. Like I'm not, you know, I ain't turning nothing down. Let's go, let's get it, you know. But you know what? I had to learn the value of the services that I offered, the knowledge that I had, that I do have. I'm always increasing my skill set. I'm always going to, you know, other seminars, you know, things of that nature. So I've learned to value what it is that I offer. And I don't discriminate against anything. The only thing I discriminate against is my mental health. Tax season, bookkeeping, all of that is rough. It's rough. And for January, February, March, and April are the hardest times of the year for me. And so I work 16, 17, 18 hours a day. But you know, if I'm doing that, then, you know, kids have to get fed, clothes have to get folded. So guess what I'm neglecting? You know, in the pursuit of helping everyone that reaches out to me, people that I'm connected to or whatever. So it's a big sacrifice. The time management, you have to learn how to develop. You have to learn how to develop a calendar, live by your calendar. If that calendar is booked, it is booked. When you are done working, you are done working. It's good to have 2 phones, your business phone and your personal phone. And I don't talk business on personal time. I watch TV once a week on a Sunday. My favorite show is Godfather of Harlem. So when I'm watching my show, honey, and I tell the kids, look, y'all can exit stage left. The phone going on do not disturb. I try to get everything situated that needs to be situated in the earlier part of the day because I like my me time. And then I'm back up, on it the next day. The time management has been the hardest thing for me. It's hard because it's just, you have to learn, hey, nobody's telling you to get up and handle your business. You need to be contributing to your money making activities every day. And that 15 minutes here talking on the phone and I'm supposed to be conducting business, all of those 15-minute blocks add up. So, you tell people I love everybody, but look, I will drop you off right here and I will pick you back up whenever I'm done doing what I need to do. So it's just setting boundaries. That's been hard, but I'm learning. And, if I can help somebody along the way that needs that, then I am more than willing to do it, because I love what I do. It's definitely a journey. It's a spiritual thing for me. So, it's deep. It's deep. I didn't know love and how much to love myself until I started, doing what I'm doing. So every aspect of an entrepreneur, you have to be hitting on eight horses, all 8 horses. You know what I mean? Like mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially has to be up to par. It's been a time where I want to quit and I want to go back to work, but I know I'm not going to do nothing on no clock. You can't, I just don't want the peanuts. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey. It's been one.
Come on out here in these entrepreneur streets.
Okay. Right.
Well, talk about discipline. People don't talk about that. Nobody want to talk about discipline. Everybody want to be an entrepreneur. But you don't have no discipline.
Because when that inspiration is gone, the motivation is gone, you still have to show up every day. Still have to.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I know it's tax season, so I can feel you on that. So I really do thank you for taking the time out to be here tonight during that time as well.
No problem. I'm blocked off. I blocked the schedule off.
Let's hear from you, Nikki.
Yeah, so I think when I think about this, I think of a couple of things. For me, I saw a lot of other people do what I do, and I wanted to emulate that as opposed to emulating what I thought success was. Especially in this age of like social media, like people are posting things online and they're talking about all of their successes and all the great things that they do, all the money that they make. And for me, I struggled with that for a couple of reasons, but comparatively, I struggled with that because I was trying to emulate success based upon what I thought it was. And I don't think that I got into a space until it was probably 4 or 5 months ago where I like realized what success is for me. And somebody asked me like, your business is so successful. Like, oh my gosh, you all are doing so well. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel it, right? Like success is doing what you love and loving the person you are while you're doing it. And for me, I was so focused on the bottom line and the clients and all of these pieces that I didn't like myself. I didn't like myself in the business that I was doing. So I think that was an eye opener for me for sure. And I think also when I think about mental health and boundaries and some of the ways in which that affects my personal life, the topics that I talk about are not sexy and fun topics that people are choosing for their opening keynote. Like, and I'll just call it what it is. Like we talk about hard, challenging things. And I primarily talk about hard, challenging things with other people who have the same lived experience as me. So when I come into these spaces, they see me and they make assumptions about me that I'm going to sugarcoat this, that I'm going to be soft, that I'm going to be light, that they're going to relate to me based upon what they see me as and what they assume is going to come out of my mouth. And sometimes I struggle because as a speaker, which is primarily how I make my coin, is by getting on a stage. Like what I talk about is not the same as like a women's entrepreneur, women's empowerment group. It's not the same as someone who's coming in to be a motivational speaker to make you feel good. What I talk about is not going to make you feel good. And the correlation between that and the money that is made from it, we only sell to other businesses. So because we only sell large ticket items to other businesses, it takes a lot of time to invest that relationship. And then the combination of sometimes getting on a stage and spreading a message and sharing a message and sharing knowledge and lived experience sometimes does not resonate well with people. So getting off the stage and still wanting to do it again, knowing that I have a purpose, knowing that I have a lane, knowing that I'm here to help to close a gap, is something that I have really struggled with, because a lot of other people who look like me are not talking about what I'm talking about. And they're certainly not doing it the way that I am. So they're talking about sexy, fun topics that are making people feel good and bounce around and put on fun music afterwards. People don't want to do that after they come to my sessions. They're sitting there like, well, dang, I don't know how I feel about you now. And I don't know how you challenge me. And I don't know how I feel about that. So I think there's been a lot, but I think for me, it's been the success, the definition of success, and not comparing myself to other people and recognizing that success is liking what I do and the person I am while I'm doing it. Some people do. Some people do come to me and make comments and they're like, you just unpacked 20 years of harm that I've done. And I'm like, yeah, we can talk about it.
Now, I mean, even
Wow.
hearing you, that was a lot to unpack,
I love it. Okay, so yeah, I have the same circumstances. People don't want to hear what I have to say because I make you think about yourself and your life and how you're putting on the image and you're not really doing the core things you need to do for your life. Yes, and people are doing harm out here. They're doing harm, I have to say. Anyway, wow. Nikki, I didn't even know, but now I do. Okay, we have to talk. I love this. This is amazing. Oh, wow. Is there anything else that you wanted to say, Tiara? We are really getting to our about now 5 more minutes. We got to do closing remarks.
No, I mean, I like that you said that you kind of like had to learn that you have your lane and, you created that for yourself, and you just have to believe in yourself for that too, because even just being young, like a lot of times I work with people who are, older than me, more seasoned than I am, but I am confident in the services that I can provide and my knowledge and everything. And just for me, like mentally, that's a lot when people question me as well. So commend you on that.
Thank you so much. This has been such a great talk. And so I want to kind of get Donald's question and also your closing remarks. Okay. So we're going to go through. The question is, what do you think is the next step for you? So what are you offering people? How would you like them? What are your closing remarks here that you would say to inspire an entrepreneur? Also, what are your next step in your journey and your businesses? And we'll go with Sade first.
Closing remarks. The next step for my business, like I said, the skill set, always learning. There's never enough learning. Going to a conference in a couple of months in San Antonio, good after tax season is over with, sharpening those skills, and coming back to the community, pouring into people. I've kind of lost where we were at.
Yes. So like what is the next steps for your journey, and also
Okay.
anything you want to say to inspire entrepreneurs?
Okay, next steps for my journey, therapy. I want to connect deeper with myself, deeper with my message. I know that my message is far greater than just taxes, and financial literacy is way deeper. And, for anybody that's aspiring to be an entrepreneur, just keep going, keep grinding. You don't have to start off perfect. Just get started. Just get started.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, Sasha.
Hey, so I would say my next steps. Actually, one of the things I do have is the TEDx stage. So I am a curator, organizer for TEDx Mellon Street here in Hampton, Virginia, and it's open for anybody that can come and want to apply to speak. You don't have to be just local, but that is something that I've added to my list of assets, I love to call, for my business. And also working with corporations more so. I work with them on the event side, but we're going to start doing the whole leadership development program so we can actually write that and build that for corporations and team building programs. So getting into a corporate sector as well as working with entrepreneurs. And so that's the next. I got a whole lot of things in the next, but those are the main next. Okay. So, but I would say for inspirational wise, for any entrepreneur that are watching or anyone who's watching who wants to start a business, first off, I just say that know what you want to do within yourself and get rid of all the negativity, whether it's in your ear or, from your own self or anybody else, but just show up. Don't play it small. Don't limit yourself. Make sure you plan, get out and do. And that's good, but also plan your steps as well and don't skip the process. It helps you to land better in what you're doing. And so if anybody wants to reach out to me, definitely contact me. I think our contact information will be out there for everyone. But yeah, I would love to work with anyone who needs it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nikki.
Yeah. So what's next for us? There are some states making some pretty egregious laws about what people can and cannot talk about, which is going to drastically affect our business. It's going to drastically affect the work that we can do with any federal funding. So what's next for us is we're trying to get around that. We're trying to get around that by building out like our B2C or business to consumer model. Because like I said, right now we only sell to companies, and there's a lot of people who don't believe that the work that we do around representation and equity and access needs to be talked about in corporations, business, government settings. And as a result, they're pulling funds and even making it so that people can't use funds to pay us for the work that we're doing. Texas, Florida, Iowa, Missouri, Indiana. I mean, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So what's next for us is we are trying to build out, what does it look like for us to reach the individual consumer? What does it look like for us to reach people to help them achieve their fullest potential? How do we help people feel like they matter? And how do we help other people in leadership roles at work, at school, in life, make everybody feel like they matter, not just people that look like them or have the same lived experience as them? So that's what's next for us. It's definitely been a journey because, like I said, we only sell to other businesses and our business is set up to only sell to other companies. So it's been definitely an exploration journey, but this curve we're trying to get in front of. So that's what's next for us, is building out a different business model and seeing what can be effective for us and make meaning for the work that we do in a way that makes sense for us. And I would say my number one piece of advice is let the no's fuel you. I got a lot of no's in my entrepreneurship journey. I still do. And at the beginning, I would get no's and people, and my business partner would be like, Nikki, let it go. And I just held on to that so dang tight. And I would like grip it because I just could not let the no's go. Let the no's go. Let the no's go. Use them to fuel what you want to do. Use them to fuel you in a way that's healthy and productive, because a no is not a rejection. It's just a redirection of something else. And every no that I've ever gotten is really about, I wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. So my biggest piece of advice is what is for you is not going to pass you. Don't ever forget that.
Yes, that's amazing. Tiara, tell us before we go, tell us it's something that what's going on in your business and inspirational note.
Absolutely. So my next steps is to continue to scale my business. So I am new into my entrepreneurship journey. So I am working to get myself more out there. And something that I would leave everybody with is that, just from what I've taken away from everybody else, is that you truly have to believe in yourself, your purpose, and your drive. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how can someone else do? And I provide a service for a living, and I have to constantly give to others. So by me believing in myself, and that is me filling my own cup. So continue to do that for yourself as well.
Okay, to answer your question, Brittany, I will supply everyone's email to you and make sure that everybody has everybody's contact. Don't worry about that. I will say we are 2 minutes over, but I must give you all my last little bit. First of all, if you know any entrepreneur that wants to come to the panel, please let me know. I would love to have them as well, because as you can see, it's a really enriching experience for everybody to be here. Like, wow, did we not meet some great people to like interact with? First of all. Second of all, I love making sure that we understand that we have to understand the core of who we are. I'm going to do a shameless plug. I have a book called Honey, You Need Counseling Skills. Heal yourself, ignite the leader, grow your business. Because the thing is, people must know how to counsel themselves before they try to do anything with anybody else. You must know, like, and trust yourself before you can do anything. And if you do that, then it would not be something that hurts you so hard when things go awry. You'll know how to pivot, like Sasha said. You'll know how to handle no's, like Nikki said. You'll know how to lead from your inner self, like Sade said. Yes, yes, yes. So you all, thank you so much, everyone, for being on the panel. I really appreciate this time. Thank you, everybody else, Brittany and Donald, for being here, and for everybody who's going to see this. I know this inspired you. I know it did, because I was over here, had to keep myself on mute because it was so good. Anyway, thank you so much for you all's time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.